Druski. Hey, yo, Druski, let me holler at you for a second, gang. What is these Diddy charges? I don't even, what are they talking about, gang?
So Druski has been an up-and-coming star for around the last 4 years. He was ushered into the internet game around the same time as his good friend Jack Harlow. And it was like as Jack was rising up the ranks of music, Druski was rising up the ranks of comedy. During that time, he has become the most infamous skit comedian online, and this has obviously afforded him many opportunities, including his own show, countless sponsorships, and
yeah, I was always confused on how this nigga actually became to be. But it was just him doing skits and being like a comedian. I deadass did not know how this nigga became famous.
commercials, features in movies, steak and Happy Dad
Yeah,
alcoholic
he did.
beverages,
He was featured in movies.
A feature on 2K.
Yeah, why the
comedy
fuck?
tour,
This nigga
and
everywhere
frequent
but home.
collaborations with the biggest streamers and comedians in the world. Basically, this man became a cash cow, as Druski has an insane ability to take everyday situations and types of people and turn them into a viral skit or a meme. And his comedy just has this way of reflecting and predicting in real-life situations. But now Druski has found himself wrapped up in the Diddy situation.
How did they meet?
His friend in popular
What? Hold on. How do you, Druski?
Himself wrapped up.
Druski! How do you get yourself in a room with P. Diddy with some champagne bottles in the back? How do you acquire that achievement? Where in God's gracious land of the free do you be able to get in one room with Diddy by himself and he's looking at you like this, like he wants to do another freak off? What are you doing in the same room as him? Are y'all friends or something? Or y'all used to be friends or something?
Up in the Diddy situation, as he and his friend and popular wide receiver Odell Beckham Jr. in some of these Diddy accusations. But the claims they are throwing around here are honestly so outlandish that it almost makes this hard to believe. Now, yesterday was when this
that nigga look like he want to molest somebody.
In the matter of Ashley Parham versus Sean Diddy Combs, an amended complaint names 2 more plaintiffs and several additional defendants, including Odell Beckham Jr., Druski,
Jaguar Wright,
and a myriad
Janice
of other
Combs.
people. So previously, it was just Ashley.
Sean Combs, aka P. Diddy, Puff Daddy, Love Puffy. I never seen that nickname. Love Puffy. Christina Corum, Shane Pierce, John Does, 1 to 3, and Jane Doe. Okay.
Ashley Parham versus Sean Diddy Combs.
Oh,
and then a couple
and
John Does
this
that
became
were not listed,
Druski.
And now those John Does, the main ones, have been listed as Druski and Odell Beckham Jr.
I need to order some food, but I'm in the
Why, Ad?
Luckily, I have Lifer, an app that integrates with the game you're playing to order
You guys just like sitting on your ass and getting DoorDash.
In total,
damn, that's why you're that good at the fucking game.
45 different times in this lawsuit. But these are the key details that really make everyone think that this is pretty far-fetched. Defendant Diddy then instructed another defendant Doe to also violate plaintiff defendant Doe, who has been determined to be
I see the P and the E. I can just guess what that is.
They say instead of immediately violating the plaintiff, defendant Druski doused plaintiff with more oil and lubricant and then jumped on top of the plaintiff's naked and oiled body, treating it like a slip and slide, and knocking the wind out of the plaintiff due to his enormous size.
Druski, you did a belly flop on the bitch? What the fuck? Dude, you gotta be screwing with me, boy. Druski, you did a belly flop on the bitch? Come on, gang. What? Doused herself in some Diddy oil. Did a bro, hope for the best. Oh my gosh, knocked the wind out of the girl too. Druski did a whole belly flop on the girl. Come on, gang. You know you're too big for doing that shit.
In there slipping and sliding all around. Defendant Druski then caught himself from sliding over the plaintiff's oiled body and off the bed. He then began violating the plaintiff through her reproductive parts.
Okay.
While defendant Druski was violating the plaintiff, defendant Diddy sat in a chair near the bed and began pleasuring himself while recording plaintiff's violation by defendant Druski. Another party's phone fell on the bed near the plaintiff. The plaintiff then attempted to grab the phone, but it slipped out of her hands and onto the floor due to the oil/lubricant that had been doused all over her person by defendants Diddy and Druski.
I'm not gonna lie, Druski finna be in. I'm not gonna lie. At this point, I'm just gonna say it's true. Like for right now, I'm just gonna say Druski's a Diddy. So you're gonna be in jail in about. I'll give you at least like 2 months tops. I'll give you at least 2 months tops until you're like behind bars, Druski. Cause what the fuck, gang?
Obviously, at this point, the baby oil is like infamous in this Diddy case. For those of you who don't remember, they claim that they discovered over
the freak offs, the pants, the panties, bro. What the fuck? And then I think that's like hundreds at least, hundreds of bottles of baby oil. They said Druski did a belly flop on the bitch and knocked the wind out of her ass, bro. What?
1,000
I still can't get over that.
Of laced baby oil in Diddy's house,
bro.
And they seized cases and cases of the kinds of personal lubricant and baby oil that Combs' staff allegedly used to stock hotel rooms for the freak-offs. More than 1,000 bottles altogether.
1,000?
Defendant Diddy began laughing at plaintiff's attempt to grab the phone.
Gang.
Throughout this violent gang violation, defendant Diddy made constant belittling remarks to plaintiff, including that he owned her now. When defendant Druski was finished violating the plaintiff, defendant KK entered the room to examine the condition of the plaintiff, who was barely able to move or control her bodily functions. And they say this is when they attached her to an IV and pretty much brought her back to life, made sure she wasn't going to die.
Okay.
And that was apparently when Diddy, Shane, who is apparently the man who introduced Diddy to this person, KK, Odell, and Druski then exited the residence to the backyard where they smoked marijuana and cigarettes. And so obviously this all had the internet going absolutely wild. Of course, people immediately started resurfacing old clips of Diddy hanging out with Druski.
Exactly. Yeah, these clips, Druski, you're never gonna live this down, gang. I'm not gonna lie. You're finna be in jail. I can't defend you. Nobody can defend you. I'm not gonna lie. You might as well just take the damn charge and take your ass on. That coulda, shoulda, woulda been records. This nigga walking in like, damn, that ass fat. What the fuck, bro?
They were basically saying that this clip hits different now, as it was also rumored that Diddy had been lacing drinks at his infamous parties.
I wouldn't.
Bro, that shit look just. I wouldn't. Bro. Nah. Hell nah. Bro, I would not want to look at Diddy like this, bro. If Diddy was staring my ass in the face, I'm not gonna lie, I probably would have cried or slapped his ass. I dead ass probably would have cried. I can't look at Diddy like straight up, just straight in the face for a good 10 seconds. Just not. I can't be serious. I can't. No. I'd bust out laughing or like start crying, actually. I know Druski had some actual fear during the skit.
Druski was also asked at one point what it was like to attend these Diddy parties.
You ever been to one of Diddy parties?
Yeah, I've been in attendance.
Bro.
I've been in attendance. What?
Bro. You hesitated to answer for like a good 3 seconds. Then you said, yeah, I've been in attendance. They never say, yes, I've been to a Diddy party. Like, they never just answer the question 100% straight up. They always gotta like substitute some words, say something that doesn't like make them like incriminate themselves or make them look like fucking diddlers. Like, just answer the question, yes or no, you've been to a Diddy party or not. And if you have you been involved in one of Diddy's shenanigans, we should call it.
What the fuck you smirking for? I've been in attendance.
We just asking regular questions.
That's all I said. I said I've been in attendance. I have been in attendance.
We never been. We just asking.
We just asking.
Yeah. As soon as you asked, he said,
Do you have fun?
I ain't seen that.
You had fun?
I ain't seen that.
"Yeah, I had fun." Yeah, I mean it was a party. I wasn't at one of them parties.
One of them parties.
We ain't seen that about no party.
I have been in attendance at
Yo.
a Puff party. You know what I mean?
At a
I've
Puff
been-
Daddy party.
Yeah, I went, yeah. The party I went to, it was girls, turn up, you know what I'm saying? The regular, you know what I mean? Other celebrities.
There was girls, huh? There was
Now,
girls.
obviously, Druski does like to troll. Yes, his body
Yeah.
language became a little bit uncomfortable.
But, like,
you do have to keep in
yeah.
mind that thousands of different people have been to these Diddy parties, allegedly. And obviously, when they're all asked about it, they all say, well, you know, I went to the Diddy party, but I didn't go to, like, the Diddy party.
Diddy
like,
party.
the behind the doors party that was going on. So then I started
Like, nobody's been there. Somebody's been in the Diddy parties. But, like, everybody's been to a Diddy party. Everybody's saying that they've never been to a Diddy party. Like, what the fuck?
questioning, well, what was Diddy's real relationship with Druski? And as you guys can see here, back in 2021, Druski did have this show called Sneaking In with Druski. And
real?
upon further inspection, you can see that this was airing on Revolt, which was a media network that was primarily owned and founded by Sean Diddy Combs.
Ah,
And
hell
although he no
no.
longer owns any shares in the company, back in 2021, he was still running that shit, and he presumably gave that opportunity to his boy Druski. I also thought that this little tidbit was interesting because Odell Beckham Jr. and Druski have been friends for quite a few years now. Baltimore Ravens wide receiver Odell Beckham Jr. struck up a friendship with Druski upon finding his videos and invited the comedian to stay at his home during the COVID-19 pandemic. And obviously,
I
the
know y'all got
pandemic
COVID
was
at least
back in early
once.
2020.
I know
and
it.
that's where these dates really start not matching up because the defendant is saying that this happened on March 23rd, 2018. Way before Druski was even remotely famous or known online, where the defendant says that this guy Shane invited the plaintiff over to his home to assist him with his cancer medications because he was weak and unable to open his medications. She says upon her arrival that this guy Shane wanted to give her a ride in his new car, and she says this is when this guy Shane pretty much set her up for the violation that allegedly involved Diddy, Druski, and OBJ. Now, much like with Jay-Z with his recent Diddy accusations, Druski would respond swiftly to this filing, where he says the allegation is a fabricated lie. I wasn't a public figure in 2018. I was broke and living with my mom without any connections to the entertainment industry at the time of this allegation, so the inclusion of my name is truly outlandish. My heart breaks for actual victims of abuse, but I'm fully confident that the evidence will expose this falsehood and the individuals who are maliciously trying to game the legal system to peddle false narratives. So he kind of has the same stance that...
Now, Druski, you know your ass don't know that many big fucking words. I know he was in it. I'm gonna say he was in it.
Jay-Z
I can't
had
trust
back a
anybody
couple
now.
months ago saying this whole thing is a bunch of bullshit and the timeline isn't even really adding up. And of course, when something like this comes out, you're gonna have a lot of people running with the story. Like this tweet that went viral where this girl says, I can't believe hashtag Odell Beckham Jr. and hashtag Druski are in this new Diddy lawsuit taking turns violating this girl.
Wow.
You had other popular hip-hop and media pages saying Druski did what? The same sentiment is shared here, ironically including this misinformation meme. Then you had people using Druski's own skits against him, like this guy who says there's no way that this Druski shit is real. Basically saying that was Druski's reaction to this information. Another user says Druski after someone didn't give him consent.
Give me 30 seconds.
Come on, be real. Come on,
allowed
be
me to
real.
Become a full-time trader and quit my job to...
This guy specifically seems to really be leading the charge when it comes to these Druski jokes
lawyer
about
right
this
now.
very serious situation. He says Druski's lawyer right now.
We got good and bad news. Good news, we got your payment, buddy.
Uh-huh.
Bad news, they gave you life. Sayonara.
So yeah, it's just crazy to see this guy's own skits and various statements being used against him at this point, even if it is a joke. These are the type of things that people try to get off online, and they do end up going viral. And it's really all just for a couple little Twitter shekels and a little bit of clout. Like, it's not worth making this type of weird, shitty joke, whether you believe he's guilty for some reason or not. Because honestly, I think it's a whole bunch of nonsense. And it leads to other people making more serious statements like this. Okay, so now that Druski was named in the Diddy lawsuit for a gang violation, this creepy skit he made in 2022 about guys getting girls drunk to have sex with them is aging so horribly.
What?
And it's like, does the person that posted this not understand that the entire point of this skit was to pretty much dog out guys that act like this? Like,
Yeah.
the whole point of the skit is to say the guys who act like this are pieces of shit. Now, here is a clip from 4 months ago of this news network and of the lawyer representing this woman, Ashley Parham, in this case, and now these other two Jane Does, speaking on behalf of her client and the entire situation.
Well, her attorney says she was in her 30s at the time of this alleged violent attack. It happened just about half a mile away from the Orinda police station here in a quiet neighborhood about 6 years ago.
So yeah, 6 years ago, long before Druski was known at all.
Ashley Perham says in 2018, Diddy and his entourage violently gangbang-style her in Orinda. Her attorney, Ariel Mitchell, says it all started when she met a man named Shane Pierce in a bar in Contra Costa County, who began a FaceTime call with Diddy.
She actually made a quip about Mr. Combs having something to do, that she didn't like him because he had something to do with Tupac's murder.
The lawsuit says Parham believed Pierce invited her over to set her up to be by Diddy. The Contra Costa County Sheriff's Office told us in a statement, a report was taken on March 23, 2018. We take these cases seriously, and detectives thoroughly investigated the accusations. It was later determined the claims were unfounded.
And that does make things a little bit more interesting for me, because obviously a legitimate report was made at that time.
Yeah.
But even back then, the police say, well, we found no wrongdoing. As a matter of fact, they're saying we don't believe this ever even happened.
She also reported the
So
incident to
stupid,
Walnut Creek
police.
Police and Orinda Police without naming Diddy, as she felt she would not be believed. The woman who lives there confirms Pierce lived there, but that he was too sick with cancer and ALS to have done this. She also says Pierce did not know Diddy.
So they're saying this guy has not only cancer? But also ALS. Now, if I really want to get into my conspiracy bag, I want to note here that I think that this all could just be...
who drew this nigga in court, It's kind of accurate, but also what the hell? They pushed your shit back. Your teeth bucked as fuck. And who the fuck is actually putting this on right here? Who looks like a fucking... I don't even know, gang. What the hell?
A mastermind smokescreen being set by Diddy and his legal team. It's like Pokemon, okay? The accuracy goes down once you set the smokescreen. Because recently, the case against Jay-Z has been dropped without prejudice, which I believe means that they cannot, try to bring it back up in court. They cannot try Jay-Z again for the same thing. Obviously, there was a lot of holes in the timeline of that story. The accuser's own father said that he doesn't remember any of that taking place. And overall, the timeline and the series of events, especially when she came out on that news segment, just really were not adding up. And when the decision by the judge was made public and that entire thing was dismissed, Sean Combs' legal team would put out this statement. Today's complete dismissal by the 1-800 attorney is yet another confirmation that these lawsuits are built on falsehoods, not facts.
Gang. What? Come on, bro. What the
For months, we have seen case after case filed by individuals hiding behind anonymity, pushed forward by an attorney more focused on media headlines than legal merit. Just like this claim, the others will fall apart because there is no truth to them. Sean Combs has never essayed or trafficked anyone, man or woman.
Are you serious? Are you so dead ass right now? Actually, bro, because y'all must be brain dead as shit.
Adult or minor. No number of lawsuits, sensationalized allegations, or media theatrics will change that reality. We will continue to fight these baseless claims and hold those responsible for these false claims. This is just the first of many that will not hold up in the court of law. And that's why I have the feeling that this entire thing is a bit of a smokescreen. Because if you have enough of these outrageous allegations coming out, it allows you to kind of start poking holes and giving a little bit of reasonable doubt to accusations that could actually be legit. And it's like the more outlandish they get, like describing Druski as using her as a slip and slide, and then the timeline not adding up at all. It just hurts the case for people who are possibly actual victims
seriously,
of
bro.
abuse
I
at
did
the
a
hands
belly
of P.
flop,
Diddy. And at this
gang.
point,
Belly
it's
flop
Diddy
on the
seems
bitch.
so seemingly
Winded
stuck
her
in his corner
ass.
that it's like that's all they can do to kind of like alter the public perception a little bit. And as these cases start getting knocked down and dismissed, it kind of starts the social programming, and people start to think, well, maybe these other things aren't real either. And obviously on the other end of the spectrum, you're going to have a whole bunch of people just bringing up false claims because they want a payday, they want a settlement. It's just the way they describe the entire series of events just seems a little bit...
Yo, how does Diddy even get people to do the stuff that they do? Like, they just... Does he just lace them first?
In this case, either way, I want to know what you
Does
guys
he, like,
think
make 'em
about
drunk?
these accusations down below. As always, also want to thank you guys for watching today's video, dropping a like and subscribing. But as you guys know, it's been your boy, the Tan Superman. And some
Yo,
other
W.
lawsuits
Jamari,
out there
man.
need to be covered, so I'm out.
W. Jamari, man.